Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Reviews After Midnight. And for this video, and I always like to point this out, I do have my questions here. There we go. And first one is film title. So this is called Pauly Shore is Dead. And boom, there we have that. Just like that. And that's the poster for it. I do own the DVD. Same thing on the front, just doesn't have the review, it looks like. And I remember buying this a long time ago, or maybe just watching it. Maybe I rented it. And, well, let's see here. So let's continue with the questions, because I always seem to jump ahead. So, film title, Pauly Shore is Dead. Could you also include a star rating here? So, if I were to give this like a 1 out of 5, I would give this like a, I would probably say like a 3.5 to possibly even a 4. I really enjoyed this movie. I bought it just because of the title. Well, I saw it originally because of the title. And I thought, well, that could be interesting. Because I have to admit, I've never been a Pauly Shore fan until this came out. But doing a little bit of research on this, I am now interested in Pauly Shore, which is weird. Because I never was before, but I always seem to like, I don't know, probably like comedians and stuff after the downfall. And this is definitely after the downfall. So it's got even this inside, which I'm happy about. It's got its little insert. Yeah, and that's a toe tag there. So that's supposed to be Pauly dead with a toe tag. I would love, one of my missions now, I think, is to interview Pauly Shore for one filmmaker, one film. I think I'm gonna aim for that. Um, and oh, this has a side B. So let's see. So this also has right up here what's on the disc. So, because I don't think it gives some stuff. So the DVD here, right here, it's okay. So special features are feature length audio commentary by Pauly Shore, which I do need to watch. Let me make this just a little bit smaller here. Oops, I just made it bigger. Go there. Well, I think that's just what I'm going to have to do. Okay, I'm still getting to learn how to use this. Okay, so we're looking here, so maybe I should hold this over here. So full-length audio commentary by Pauly Shore, interrogating the Wiz, or the Wheeze. I think it's the Wheeze because of Weasel. Q&A with Pauly Shore. I don't know a ton about Pauly Shore, so I've just been doing a little bit of research now. Making a featurette, which I did watch. Host. God, it's hard. It's even though it's black on red, it's tiny. Host raps by Eminem and Proof. I don't know what that is. I did see them, but I didn't look. Deleted scenes hosted by Pauly Shore, the Hilton Sisters, and Charlie Sheen. Aaron Lewis, Stain song parody. And it says this includes the full screen and widescreen versions. This is a great flick, according to Ain't It Cool News. It runs 82 minutes, which is great. Came out in 2004, but I think it states online that it's 2003. And let's see. So let's see. So yeah, so we gave film title, gave star rating. What did you expect from this film? When I originally saw it, I had no idea. I did not know at all what to expect from this. And surprisingly, I really liked it. I really like that poster too that's on there. And then when I was at Zia Records with OGP, I found it. It was in one of the bargain bins. It was really cheap. And I went up to the counter with a stack of movies like that. And the clerk is ringing them up for me. And I said, out of all these movies, which one do you question me buying? And he just held this up. So, oh well. But man, this thing has everybody in it. This thing is like Cameo the movie. But let's see. So, according to the back of the box, it says, so many stars, so little sympathy. Leave it to legendary Hollywood weasel, in quotes, Pauly Shore to fake his own death and chronicle the hilarious reactions from dozens of A-list celebrities. That's questionable, definitely except for one of them. In this outrageous dark comedy that raises the eternal show business question, is it better to be dead? Is it better to be a dead genius or a living idiot? And that is brought up in the movie. So this, so according to this here, so DVD contents are, yeah, so so side A is Pauly Shore is Dead widescreen presentation. Feature-length audio commentary by Pauly Shore. Interrogating the Wheeze, Q&A with Pauly Shore, making a featurette, host raps by Eminem and Proof. Deleted scenes hosted by Pauly Shore and the Hilton Sisters. Seems like the same thing that was on the box. Deleted scenes hosted by Pauly Shore and Charlie Sheen. Aaron Lewis Stained parody song, It's Been a While. And then side B is Pauly Shore is Dead full screen presentation, and then full length audio commentary by Pauly Shore. I wonder if it's any different. Probably not, but and then it has the scene selections here. So it goes back in this way. You could see the amount of people that are in this. I mean, it is amazing of how many people he got for this. So put that right there. Okay, so what did you expect from this film? Like I said, I had no idea. No idea. I really enjoyed it, and then when I found it at Zia Records, I'm like, oh, I have to have this because I kind of forgot about it. And so I want to show, because I liked this. I was looking at pictures that I could put up here. And I like this picture of Pauly Shore here. He doesn't look like a goofball. This is actually a nice picture. And so it's something that this is how I like my comedians being. Sorry, I have an itch. I like them serious. And this is serious. This is like it says, it's a dark comedy. But it is serious. And he does have so his best friend in the movie is played by Kurt Fox. And it's funny that I don't see him in the cast as themselves. Maybe he's listed as themselves. Yeah, that's weird. I don't see him here. But he is one of the writers. He's also an actor. He's been in a ton of stuff. So let me show you him. So that's what he looks like. And he's one of the writers, like I said. And he plays Pauly Shore's best friend in the movie. So, which I didn't realize. See, like I said, I've never really been a big fan of Pauly Shore. But I liked this movie. So when I found it, I purchased it and then watched it because I remember liking it. And then being like, maybe I could do this for reviews after midnight because they're supposed to be weird movies anyways. And then was doing, searches for pictures and things like that. Looking up Wikipedia things, and it was interesting now I'm curious about this guy. Now I want to learn more. one of the other funny things in this is, and I didn't know this, I guess this is a thing that Pauly Shore keeps getting compared to Richard Simmons. They definitely do look alike. That is funny. And throughout it, people keep saying, hey, first they say, hey, it's Richard Simmons. And then they say, oh, it's the guy who looks like Richard Simmons. And that's like, okay, so that's, I never realized that, but they do. They look, and I guess that there are specials or things like that where he does dress up like Richard Simmons. The other person, well, other two people that are in this, Richard Simmons is not in this, but the other two people that are in this, Tom Sizemore and Michael Madsen. Why are they in this? Because everybody says they look alike. So in the scene where Tom Sizemore's, and rest in peace to both these guys, Tom Sizemore comes, it gets shown, and people go, hey, it's Michael Madsen. And then when Michael Madsen, comes on screen, they're like, hey, it's Tom Sizemore. And of course, Tom Sizemore is like, no, I'm Tom Sizemore. I'm not Michael Madsen. And then, of course, Michael Madsen's like, no, I'm not Tom Sizemore. I am, Michael Madsen. And I thought that was funny that these guys could make fun of themselves. And so it's like, okay, this is kind of funny. So it's like, okay, this is great. So I'm going to go back to that picture for a second here. All right, so on my list, it says, what type of film is this? Does it have a message? Well, the film, it is a mockumentary. So it starts off with kind of that Pauly Shore plays Pauly Shore. Everybody, well, for the most part, everybody plays themselves. Some people aren't. Some people are playing characters. But it's the premiere of a sitcom. And the sitcom does so bad. It's like a 0%. And so the studio pulls it, cancels the season. It's done. Pauly Shore gets dropped by, like his agency and like his agent and manager, everybody. Everybody just leaves. They just dump him. So he decides, excuse me, what if I kill myself? And so he does, kind of. He fakes it, and then he's this guy here. So he's got on a wig, these aviator glasses, mustache, long hair, all that type of stuff. And of course, he was hated before. Nobody liked, his movies. Nobody likes him. There are certain like singers and stuff that come up and say, hey, here's my demo CD. And he just smashes it on the ground, which would be Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. And it's so everybody, I guess that they were with him on the, with the premiere of his comedy show, but then when it bombs, you're yesterday's news, and everybody leaves him, including like his very supportive girlfriend leaves him and stuff. And like I said, he fakes his death, and now he's great. Now he's wonderful. Now he's like, he was such a genius. And the message on this is, so what type of film is it? It's a mockumentary about Pauly Shore faking his death and how he goes from, I guess, kind of like celebrated to nothing to being loved. And so what message does it have? Well, it states it right on the back here. Is it better to be dead? Is it better to be a dead genius or a living idiot? And he's considered to be a dead, genius before he was a living idiot. So that's, what the film is about, and doesn't have a message. What happens in the film? Does the plot make sense? Is it easy to follow? Is it believable? Yeah, sure. Why not? Like I said, what happens in the film? He fakes his death, because he all he wants is like recognition. All he wants to do is to be like loved, and everybody shits on him because of this pilot just failing. Does the plot make sense? I would say so. To yeah, I mean, if you know anything about how Hollywood works, yeah, I think it makes sense. Is it easy to follow? Very easy to follow, because then at the end of the movie, he tells you how he faked his death. Is it believable? Sure, to a degree. We know that you know that actors and singers, just celebrities in general, will go out into public in disguise so people won't bug them. And that's what he does in this, because he obviously everybody thinks he's dead. He loves the people talking about him. Big celebrities, little celebrities. It's kind of all over the place of who they got in this film, including one guy who I'm going to show you that I was absolutely amazed was in this movie. I'm just like, oh my God. This is characters. Who are the main characters and what are they like? So the main characters are, Pauly Shore and, his friend in it, who is Kurt Fox. So, which, they're the overall two guys in this. Everybody else has kind of like little extended scenes or cameos in it. So who are the actors playing these parts and are they good in them? Basically, 99% of the people in this are playing themselves. So they're fine. Now, this is a list. Okay, so this is off of Wikipedia. And first I'm going to go over so Pauly Shore directed this film. And then Kurt Fox and Pauly Shore wrote it. Pauly Shore produced it. And Regent Releasing was the production company. It was distributed through 20th Century Fox. This is, oh, I see, because 2003 would be the film festivals, and then 2004 would be when it was like officially released. 82 minutes. The box office was $11,000. It doesn't say what the budget is, but if the documentary is being honest, this thing was pretty much self-produced. But so we have the main cast, and we have people like, Pauly Shore plays himself and another character, Bucky's cousin. W. Earl Brown is Bucky from Kentucky, who's like an obsessed fan. Kirsten Harold plays Bucky's cousin. Let me get to the people who I know here. Okay, Clint Howard plays Pauly's business manager. Bobby Lee is a delivery boy. Jason Mewes plays Robert Francisco. Okay, I'm going to skip this one guy here for a second. Sam Rubin is in the film. He plays Michael Figueroa. There is... Okay. Here is... Okay, I'm going to save this guy for last. Because he is listed as... Oh, no, that... What? Really? Hold on. This is Christopher Penn. Christopher Penn, rest in peace, he plays half of gay couple in jail. Some of these people I didn't even realize were in it. But okay, so as themselves, we're gonna go quickly through these. Pamela Anderson, AJ Benza, Be Real, Todd Bridges, Tommy Chong, Carson Daly, Ellen DeGeneres, Jewel D. Denial, Dustin Diamond, Andy Dick, Dr. Dre, Jerry Dunphy, Eminem, Fred Durst, Sully Inra, Perry Farrell. I didn't even get to see most of these people. I must have missed them. Maybe when I watch the audio or listen to the audio commentary, I'll catch them. Corey Feldman, Heidi Feiss, who in Pasadena had a shirt store, like a clothing store, right behind the United Artists Theater that I was an usher at. And one day I was sweeping up garbage. I had like a big push broom, and I swept it right into a person's shoes, like right onto their shoes, just all the dirt and stuff. And I looked up, and it was Heidi Fleiss. So technically, I've met Heidi Fleiss, I guess. Natasha Henstridge, Nikki Hilton, Paris Hilton, Dexter Holland, Kato Kalin, Kurt Kilborn, Sam Kinison in archive footage. So there is Pauly Shore's guardian angel in this is Sam Kinison, and he's done in silhouette. So it's, most likely I'm going to assume it's a Sam Kinison like lookalike, and they got somebody who could do his voice. They also do show archival footage from him too. There is Carl LaBove, Tommy Lee, Kurt Loger, Mario Lopez, Michael Madsen, Bill Maher, Pat O'Brien, Nancy O'Dell. I'm going to skip this guy. Then Matt Pinfield, Sally Jesse Raphael, Chris Rock, Jarul, Cadillac Faye. Adam Sandler is a voice in the movie. Charlie Sheen, and there is one guy because Pauly Shore, because he fakes his death and then everybody knows later, it's revealed that he is still alive and that he faked his death. Everybody now hates him. So he went from being kind of celebrated to this guy that does this failed pilot to being hated to then being loved because he committed suicide to then being hated again. So the police arrest him and put him in his jail for faking his death. It's a celebrity jail, basically. And so when he's in there, one of the inmates starts quoting Adam Sandler films. And Pauly Shore gets really annoyed with him because he's like, that's an Adam Sandler film. That's an Adam Sandler film. I'm not Adam Sandler. I'm Pauly Shore. And he goes, well, what did you make? And then Pauly Shore names off a couple of his movies. And the inmate goes, well, those movies sucked. So it's like, even in jail, the guy can't get anything. Guy, no respect. Charlie Sheen, Tiffany Shepis, where was she in this? Snoop Dogg, Britney Spears, Ben Stiller, Tom Sizemore, and Vern Troyer. Now, here's the guy. Now, out of all those people, how the fuck did they get this guy? How did they get? And this isn't like how did they get Sean Penn, an Academy Award winning actor? How did they get Sean Penn to be in this? And this wasn't like he was walking through the airport and then Pauly Shore said, hey, Mr. Sean Penn, would you mind saying a couple nice things about me for this movie I'm making where I commit suicide? And then he's standing there with his luggage and, stuff. And he's like, and he gives like a 30-second little, oh, Pauly Shore was great. We're going to miss him. No, he is in an actual scene, with Kurt Fox in a bar because Kurt Fox is meeting up with Sean Penn about being in a Sean Penn movie. So Pauly Shore's thing throughout this whole film is there a part in me for it? So basically, whenever he meets somebody who is working or has projects coming up, he will always say, is there a part in this for me? And so he asks his friend, can you ask Sean Penn if there's a part for me? And the guy doesn't. But the friend and Sean Penn are at a bar, which means Sean Penn had to go to this bar. They had to set up the shot and do it. It's not like this is just because they reveal in the making of that some of the celebrities that are interviewed are kind of, random. That it could be a concert, it could be here, it could be there. Some of them, are not. Some of them are they're it's an actual scene, but Sean Penn is not. So he's in this bar and he's talking to the friend, a lot. I was absolutely amazed by that they could get Sean Penn to be in this. So the so let me show you here because I showed you the poster and I showed you. Oh, let me also so down here. Okay, so here is what it according to Wikipedia. This is what the movie is about. Pauly Shore's Dead is a 2003 American mockumentary comedy film directed, produced, co-written, and starring Pauly Shore. The film is depicted as a autobiographical, sorry, my mouth is dry, retelling of Pauly Shore's early success and dwindling popularity in the late 90s, after which it documents Shore's fictional attempt to fake his own death in order to drum up popularity for his films. It features many cameos, and I just read you all the ones that are listed. There's, I think, man, I don't even think he's. There's like Emmanuel Lewis is in there. Was he listed in here? There's people in the documentary that aren't in the movie. And the film is only like 82 minutes. Yeah, so like Emmanuel Lewis is there. There's a few other people that are there too. And then it says down here for reception, Pauly Shore's Dead received mixed reviews. With a 57% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, a notably higher rating than his oft-panned 90s films, it was a box office bomb. However, earning just 11,000 after a very limited release in theaters in Sacramento, California. Northern California, where I come from. I've been to Sacramento many a times. It won the Audience Choice Award from the Slam Dunk Film Festival for Paul's direction. I've also been to the Slam Dance Film Festival. In 2000, I went to the Sundance Film Festival, and there's a whole bunch of slams. There's Slam Dunk, Slam Fest, like Trauma Fest. There's a whole bunch of these things that are there. So I've completely left my my sheet here. So let's and so I got two more pictures I want to show, but let's kind of get through this stuff quickly then. Okay, what is the camera work like? Nothing special at all. It's nothing special. It's supposed to be a documentary, so it's just handheld and it just focuses on whatever it needs to focus on. Let's see. If there are special effects, what are they like? There's no special effects. Are there beautiful scenes? No. There are funny scenes, but there aren't beautiful scenes. Are there moments when the camera is used in an interesting way? No, not really, because it's just a documentary type of filming. And I don't even know if the guy had permits because he shoots a lot in L.A. Did you enjoy the film? Why or why not? I did. And let's see, what were its good and bad points? I like when people are honest, and I am going to. I'm going to bring up this. I want to show one picture here. Hopefully it will come up okay. All right. Okay. So, I had respect. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it in here as quickly as I can. Okay, so this is probably going to pop up right now, right when I hit save. There it is. Okay, so Jean-Claude Van Damme made this movie called JCVD. It is all about Van Damme. It is all about the mistakes that he made. There's a great scene where he's kind of lifted in the air and he does this giant monologue where he talks about like drugs and alcohol and the shitty movies that he's made and the bad choices that he did. And while he's doing all of this, while he's being himself as a regular person, I believe it's like a bank robbery is happening across the street. And everybody's like, you're Jean-Claude Van Damme. You need to go and stop these guys from robbing the bank. he's just Jean-Claude Van Damme. You know, he's like, well, I'm not the guy in the movies. I really appreciated this film. My problem was then after the movie, he went and then just continued making dog shit. Even though I do enjoy his films, they weren't, you know, they've been pretty bad. So that I can appreciate as far as Pauly Shore is dead is when these actors are honest with their movies and kind of have some sort of reflection on their career and where they are at now. And so it also, you know, did you enjoy the film? What were its good and bad points? I wouldn't say that there was really any bad points. I think that for the most part, it was a pretty enjoyable movie. It's just it's rough. You know, it was made in 2003, so it's rough. You know, compared to movies today. What scene did you particularly enjoy or remember? Why was it good? I would just say that I think anybody that was criticizing Pauly Shore to his face was funny. That stuff I enjoyed. So that those type of things, like with, because I guess it's supposed to be Fred Durst and like Limp Bizkit aren't big yet, so he gives Pauly Shore the demo, a CD that he has, and this is right after the pilot bombs. And Fred Durst and Pauly says, "Well, what is your name?" He's like, "Fred." Well, you know, obviously, if you know who Limp Bizkit is, you know that's you know Fred Durst. So, director of the Fanatic, and Pauly Shore gets pissed and slams it, you know, slams the CD on the ground, breaks it with his feet. Fred's like, "You're an asshole, man. You're a total dick." Later, you know, after it's found out that Pauly Shore had faked his death and he's with Carson Daly, Fred Durst then calls him, you know, he calls MTV because Pauly's being interviewed. And now Fred, you know, or Limp Bizkit is huge. And Fred calls in calling him, you know, a fucking asshole and everything else. That type of stuff I really enjoyed. That stuff I thought was a lot of fun. So, and then it said, what scene did you particularly not enjoy? Why was it bad? I don't have any. There really aren't any at all. The beginning of the movie is a little rough because I have not seen it really probably since like 2003, 2004, somewhere in there. I really didn't remember a lot of the movie. So when it first came on, I'm like, uh-oh, ooh, this doesn't look good. And then I don't know what happened. It went from being really amateurish to really grabbing me. And so I kind of it worried me for just a few seconds, and then I really got into it. Then I really enjoyed it. Would you recommend this to friends? You know, would you you know what film could you compare this to? Well, you know, the Jean Claude Van Damme movie. Basically anything that is a I would probably say like a mockumentary on Andy Samberg. Andy Sam. How do you say his name? Andy. Um, okay, TV show. So yeah, Andy Samberg. He did a mockumentary, and it was a particular character, and I thought it was very funny. Uh, Pop star, never start. Pop star, never stop, never stopping. I thought was very funny. I enjoyed that. So that's the type of stuff that I would recommend to somebody is that, you know, that type of movie. And let's see, Pop Star, never stop stopping. Video's going a little longer than I wanted it to, but that's okay. So Okay, so then, so this here. I thought this was very funny. I enjoyed this quite a bit. So I like these type of movies. We're not gonna, obviously I can't show all of them, but I think yeah, there's a few of them out there. Some are better than others, but I enjoyed this one quite a bit. So check this one out too. So that one's good. So let's see. To what sort of people, if you like comedies, if you like kind of like biopics, like fake biopics, that would be good. And then, are there any other films you could compare this to? And I just did. So now, when I was doing my research, and then we're going to wrap this up, I was looking for a poster for Pauly Shore is Dead, and I came across this. Pauly Shore stands alone. I'm like, what is this? What is Pauly Shore stands alone? And so I looked it up, and at first I thought, wait, is this just another poster for Pauly Shore is Dead? But they just retitled the movie. And it's like, no, this is from 2014. He plays himself. So it's okay. Pauly Shore Stands Alone is a 2014 American documentary film directed by Pauly Shore. It premiered at the 2014 Woodstock Film Festival and was later released on Showtime in December 2024. The film follows Shore on a cold Midwestern stand-up comedy tour of small venues in Wisconsin and Minnesota as he interacts with fans and deals with health issues and the realities of mortality. So, I am this is on YouTube. It's on Pauly Shore has a channel on YouTube. This is on it. The entire movie is on it. I am now going to watch this. I have not seen it yet. I did watch the trailer. It looks interesting. So where it almost looks like Pauly Shore is Dead, which is a mockumentary, and this is a documentary. They look very similar together. So I'm going to check this out and see what it is. So I mean, there's Pauly doing stand up there. I am now interested in this guy. I am now curious to see what else is going on with him. And there is a website with him where you can get in contact, I guess, with probably like an agent or a manager. I thought of reaching out and saying, hey, is there a way of interviewing him for my YouTube channel? I might do that. All they can do is say no. If they say yes, great. If they say no, well, at least you tried. So, but yeah, so okay, this is probably the longest reviews after midnight I've ever done. But thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here and watching this, especially if you made it all the way through. And I will see you on the next one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll do that Pauly Shore documentary. Kind of do a like a companion piece with this video. So for next month, we'll see. I already have a film planned, but we'll see. So maybe I'll do both of those for like the next couple months. So, all right, everybody, I really appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you like Pauly Shore? Have you watched his movies? Have you seen Pauly Shore is Dead or Pauly Shore Stands Alone? It's let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe to this channel and everything. And I'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye.